Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of Psych Talk. Today we're talking about something we all experience but may not think about it deeply. The paradox of choice. We live in an era of abundance, whether it's shopping for a new pair of jeans, choosing a career path, or even deciding what to watch on Netflix, or deciding what to eat at a restaurant. We are bombarded with options. And while having choices is supposed to make us feel empowered, research shows that too many options can actually lead to anxiety, dissatisfaction, and even decision paralysis. So, why does this happen? And how can we navigate a world of endless choices without feeling overwhelmed? Let's get into it. We often assume that the more choices we have, the happier we'll be. It makes sense. Freedom of choice gives us control over our lives. But psychologist Barry Schwartz, who coined the term paradox of choice, argues that having too many options can actually make us less happy. The paradox works like this. When given too many options, we struggle to make a decision. And when we finally do, we tend to second guess ourselves, wondering if another decision or another choice would have been better. This leads to dissatisfaction and regret, even when we have made a good choice. Think about the last time you tried to pick a restaurant with friends. You scroll through dozens of options, read endless reviews, and debated the pros and cons, only to end up feeling exhausted before you even ordered food. And that's the paradox of choice in action. So, why does having more options make decision making harder? There are a few psychological mechanisms at play. So, we have decision paralysis. When faced with too many options, we freeze. Instead of making a choice, we put it off, sometimes indefinitely. This is why people struggle with big life decisions like picking a career or committing to a long-term relationship. The fear of making the wrong choice keeps them from making any choice at all. Then we have opportunity cost. Every choice we make means giving up something else. If you choose to watch a movie, you're not watching another. If you pick one job, you're not picking another. The more options we have, the more we focus on what we are missing rather than what we're gaining. And then we have expectation inflation. So more options make us expect perfection. When we have 100 choices, we assume that one of them must be perfect. But when reality doesn't meet our sky-high expectations, we feel disappointed, even if we made a perfectly fine choice. Then we have regret and self-blame. With too many options, we are more likely to regret our decisions. And worse, we blame ourselves for making the wrong choice. If we only had 2 options, it's easy to accept that we made the best choice available. But when we had 50 options, it feels like our fault if we're not completely satisfied. So let's say you're going to a coffee shop and you're looking at the menu, and there are so many drinks nowadays that you can choose from. Whether it's a coffee, whether it's a matcha, whether it's a chai, and you can choose a bunch of different milks and flavors. And so let's say you choose a drink, right? And you're not even sure whether or not you want it hot or iced. But let's say you make it hot, and then you get your drink and you're like, oh fuck, I should have gotten it iced, or I should have gotten a matcha instead of a coffee because now I'm gonna be all jittery, etc. And so that's pretty much how it works. And I'm gonna give you more examples so that you can understand this better. So this phenomenon plays out in nearly every aspect of our lives, like the coffee shop example. But let's say we're talking about shopping. So let's say you need a new toothbrush and you get overwhelmed by the number of choices you have. You have like soft bristles, medium bristles, whitening, gum care, electric, manual, and the list goes on and on. And so studies show that too many choices lead to lower customer satisfaction because people regret not picking the perfect one. Then we also have dating apps. Online dating has given us access to an endless stream of potential partners. But has them made dating easier? Many argue that it's done the opposite. With so many options, people start to commit, always wondering if someone better is just one swipe away. Also, one thing that is interesting, let's say you choose a partner that you met on Tinder or whatever, and you guys have been together for like a couple of months now. And the first issues that you guys are going to face or struggles that arise, you subconsciously are thinking, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna leave this person because I have so many other options. I can just swipe left or right and that is it. I don't need this issue right now. The problem is that that issue or that struggle is going to arise in every relationship you're going to have. Okay, now we have career decisions. With so many job options, industries, and career paths available, many young professionals feel stuck. You could be anybody today. You could be anyone you want. And instead of pursuing one path wholeheartedly, people hesitate, fearing they might pick the wrong career and miss out on something better. So, how can we navigate a world full of choices without feeling overwhelmed? Here are some strategies. Well, first of all, just knowing the paradox of choice can make you more self-aware of what's going on subconsciously in your mind. But let's go through these 5 different strategies. So the first one is, instead of searching for the perfect option, go with what is good enough. This is called satisficing, choosing something that meets your needs instead of endlessly searching for the best possible options. 2, set limits. If you're picking a restaurant, limit yourself to 3 choices and decide from there. If you're shopping for a new shirt, set a time limit for browsing. Having boundaries prevents decision paralysis or anxiety. Practice gratitude. Shift your focus from what if there was a better option to I'm happy with the choice I made. And practicing gratitude reduces regret and increases overall satisfaction. Also, reduce exposure to excessive choices. Avoid unnecessary choices when possible. So if you find grocery shopping stressful, stick to a meal plan. If streaming services overwhelm you, create a watch list in advance instead of endlessly scrolling. 5, trust your gut. Sometimes your first instinct is the right one, and overanalyzing choices doesn't always lead to better outcomes. Often it just leads to more stress. And so in a world where we're constantly bombarded with options, the key to happiness isn't more choice, it's better decision making. And so learning to embrace good enough choices, setting limits, and focusing on what we gain rather than what we lose can help us navigate life with more ease and satisfaction. So what's one area of your life where you feel overwhelmed by choice, and how can you simplify it today? Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.